In this video, I'm going to explain the high score and tempo and how to get the best ending possible without losing once. Because for a lot of the videos I've seen, to get the best ending, you have to pretty much go to the final stage, constantly grind it because it's the only stage where enemies respawn. Then use a continue, go back to the bonus stages and just keep repeating them over and over for all the grinding you did. And then you beat the game and get the best ending. And from the few sources I saw, that's supposedly the only way to get the best ending. But in this video, I'm here to show that you can get the best ending without losing one life. And it can be done legitimately, maybe. And you'll see at the end by what I mean by that. So, if you don't know, high score, it affects your ending. There are 6 endings in total. If you do a casual playthrough, like if it's your first time playing, you'll most likely get the worst ending. Because the high score in this game, getting a very high score for the best ending is very difficult. So I'm put the image up. As you can see, for the best ending is 1,005,000 points, which is a lot for how this game's high scoring system works. So much so that you can just barely get there even if you do almost nearly everything right. And of course, high score also lets you get extra lives. When you do get an extra life, it takes more and more points every single life you get. It also depends on the difficulty, so if you're playing on hard, 15,000 points is needed for the first extra life, and on easy, 5,000 points is needed for 1 extra life. So you might be wondering when I play on easy. Well, I'll get into that later. But for now, let's assume we're playing on hard mode. So, how are we going to optimize that score? Well, let's talk about the fundamentals. So, first off, how you defeat your enemy is very important. You have a kick, you can jump on them, you can draw a music note, and if your partner's around, they'll kick them automatically. Or you can use this back kick. And of course, you can slide. The best move in this game is the back kick. And the reason is because, like, for example, let me save it right here. If I kick them, 100 points. If I jump on them, 10 points. There is one stage in particular where jumping gives you a ton of points. But for the most part, jumping gives you barely anything. There's a slide, which is done by running. That gives 200, and if you slide through multiple enemies, you get a bit more than that. Alright, that's fine, like 200, 300, 600. But, at the end of the day, the back kick is the very best answer. Well, the best answer I should say. Because you get 500 points. Which doesn't sound like a lot compared to 1,500,000, but trust me, like, points matter in this game. You need to get as many points as possible. And it's going to be very important due to the end game, which, again, we will get there. But as many enemies as possible, you want to defeat them with this kick. There are going to be some enemies you can't reach with this, or like they're in a spot that's very dangerous for you to do it. If you can't, that's fine. But the point is, if you can and you have the opportunity, you want to use this back kick. So that is the optimized score strat for dealing with enemies. And I'm glad I'm right here because I get to talk about the next strat. So you can see on the right, you see the word dance. Now, in each stage, except for the last, you can get a perfect bonus. To get this, you have to collect every single, not the music notes that refill your health, but like if I go back all the way over here, we see there are music notes up there and they refill your health. Some of them, if you collect all of them like completely, they give you 1,000 points. Those are also important, but like it's not an absolute must, it's optional. But the point is, all these important items like the dance items, you need to get them in order to get the perfect bonus, and the perfect bonus gives 10,000. And since you can only do, since there are 6 stages and then a final stage, which you can't get a perfect bonus in, that's a total of 60,000 points you can get from a perfect bonus. Again, doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it's important. So that's the perfect bonus, but what about the main and important reason? For those who played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is the minigames. You see, there are 3 minigames in this game, and you can only access them when you're not in the stage, like when you go back to the hub, I should say, the stage select. The main strat, some people would like, the strat I see most of the time, I should say all the time, is you get to the final stage, get as many coins as possible, because you need coins to do these mini games. So you get as many coins as possible, like 200, 300 at least. Get game over so that you can use the continue to go back to the stage select. Then you repeat the 10 coin mini game, which gives you the most points, and from there you pretty much got the ending, because you got all the points you need from spamming that mini game over and over and over. And then you go to the final stage, beat the boss, there you go, best ending. In a normal playthrough, at least like in an optimized playthrough, I was able to get at least 93 coins, and the best minigame cost 10, so that's 9 attempts at that minigame. So let me show you an example. Right now you can see I got 0 coins. What I'm going to try to do is avoid defeating these enemies. So I'm going to jump over him, jump over this guy, go all the way to the right. Gotta wait for her to jump, go over, and then I'm going to do the dance. The reason why you want these enemies on screen without hitting them is because, as you see, the dance is it's a screen clear. And for every enemy on the screen that gets hit by this, you get coins, like they all turn into coins. So in order to get at least 90 coins, I don't know if 100 is possible, but to get at least 90, you have to make sure that there are as many enemies on the screen. Like if you defeat them first and then do the dance, then most likely you're not going to see 90 coins at all. And trust me, those 9 attempts matter, which leads into the minigames. Alright, so here are the minigames. The first one costs 2 coins. It gives around 1,000 per attempt if you're successful, 9 levels. Second one gives more points, 3,000 per clear, like around 3,000, depends on how many poses you do during the minigame. Decent, but the best one is 10 coins, and this is by far the hardest minigame due to a certain amount of reasons, and mainly it's because, well, you get 8,000 coins, like 8,330 points I should say, for clearing 1 round of it, and there are 9 rounds in total. But as you keep going, like in each round, it gets faster and faster and faster, and you gotta be on the mark with the rhythm. Like you cannot mess up. And if you mess up once, you go straight back to the stage select, and you have to spend 10 coins again in order to attempt it, like yet again. So I'm going to show what level 1 looks like round 1 of the minigame, and then I'm going to show what round 9 looks like, so you get an idea. So, as you can tell, it's not easy. I know I made it look easy on round 9, but trust me, doing it like consecutively, like clearing all 9 rounds like back to back, it's difficult. Like I don't even think I was able to do it. Maybe I can with practice, but I'd have to be really lucky. So why are these minigames important? Well, let's do the math. So what I'm going to do now is, let's pretend I didn't touch any of these minigames. I did the best run possible. I tried to defeat as many enemies with the back kick. I got the perfect bonuses, all of that good stuff. I got up to the final stage with around 90 coins. Assuming everything went really well, this is how many points you should have around here. If you have like 180,000, that's fine, or maybe you got more than this amount, that's fine. But you should have like the best, like quote unquote best run should have this amount of points without touching the minigames at all. So, what happens when we do touch the minigames? Well, I'm sorry to say, but how well you do at this minigame, the one that costs 10 coins, will make... I hit the table, that's how serious this is. It will make or break how you get the perfect ending. You either get very close to it, or you go above it and you get it. And let me explain why. So, on the left and the right is 2 runs. The run on the left is a legit run. Like, I played it from start to finish. Now, I should mention that I did make a save state right when I got to the final stage, and I'll explain. So, I got up to the final stage. Before I started it, I made a save state. I did all 9 attempts of the mini game legit. I didn't like load when I like screwed up. I just accepted whatever mistake I made. And you see here all of my attempts. Like the first attempt, I was able to beat 7 levels, 7 rounds. Then on the 4th attempt, I actually finished all rounds, and then on the very next attempt, I only finished 5 rounds and such. The run on the right is, I guess you can call it a tool-assisted run in a sense. I did use save states to cover up for my mistakes, not in the run itself, but just the minigame specifically. Like, both of these are like the same optimized run in terms of the stages, but the minigames is where the difference is. So, I cheated, got all 9 rounds on the minigames, and that's why you see that my score is way higher. And if you don't realize, this screenshot is like right before, like right after beating the final boss. So here's what you need to understand. Beating this minigame, beating a round, is 8,330. Beating all rounds in your attempt gives you 74,970 points. Which means, assuming you're doing a normal run, again, no grinding, like in both these runs, like I only went in because in the final stage there's multiple rooms you can keep entering, going back in, and you can grind over and over. I only went in each room once. I didn't grind out all in the final stages for both runs. I just checked all the rooms once and then went to the final boss. Assuming you didn't grind and you try to do the quote-unquote best run possible, you only get 9 attempts at this minigame. Which means, potentially, you can get a maximum of 674,730 points, which is a lot. Now, the run on the left, as I said earlier, it's not perfect because I screwed up on the minigames here and there. You know, I'm not a machine. Like, doing it getting all 9 rounds 9 times in a row, like, it can be done, but I can't do it unless I get more practice at least. I don't know. I have to be really lucky or just be on top of my game. But it is a practice run nonetheless, so maybe I can do better next time. I don't know. Or worse. So because I screwed up here and there, which is a total of about 17 rounds I missed out on in total, instead of 674,000, I got 533,120 points. So if you can't tell, like I said before, these mini games these attempts, they are like it's make or break. If you're not on top of your game, you could potentially screw yourself on the best ending. But were my attempts enough to get the best ending? Well, there's only one way to find out. So as you can see on the left, unfortunately, despite my best efforts, I only got around 900,000 points, which isn't enough. But yeah, that was my explanation on tempo for the 32X, at least the high score and how the endings work. I know this is a bit weird. I didn't really come in here with a script. I guess this is the part where I say subscribe, but like, I mean, I could have said that in the beginning, but like, why would you subscribe to someone when you didn't even see their video yet, which is kind of dumb. But yeah, if you're into Sega Genesis videos and guides in general, you can like check out my other videos. I am working on a guide for this game. I'm almost done with the current guide I'm doing. And yeah, until then, I'll see you later and have a good night.